Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today. So, as always, if you're watching and recording, you're welcome to fast forward 5 minutes or stay with us through our hellos. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Yani. All right, it is time for us to start. Last week we began a new category in our exploration of embodied emotions, something that Brené Brown calls places we go to when we feel wrong. And I'll remind you that the emotions that she includes in this category are anger, contempt, disgust, dehumanization, hate, and self-righteousness. We have already explored anger, so today we're moving on to contempt. Turns out that many researchers agree that contempt is one of the most damaging of the 4 negative communication patterns that predict divorce. The other 3 are criticism, defensiveness, and stonewalling. These 4 negative communication patterns took on the name of the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. And Brené Brown provides an interesting infographic on these 4 patterns in her book. I'll take a photo and post it in the group. It's definitely worth looking at as she compares and details the 4. Anyway, in his book, Why Marriages Succeed or Fail, John Gottman writes, what separates contempt from criticism is the intention to insult and psychologically abuse your partner. With your words and body language, you are lobbing insults right into the heart of your partner's sense of self. Fueling these contemptuous actions are negative thoughts about the partner. He or she is stupid, disgusting, incompetent, a fool. An indirect or subtle fashion, that message gets across along with the criticism. Of course, we can feel and show contempt not only in our romantic relationships, and it can be towards individuals or groups. In either instance, being on the receiving end of contempt is often very painful because it's shaming and belittling. And contempt results in distancing and ignoring or excluding the contemptible person. They are not considered worthy of one's time or energy. And this attitude seems partially attributable to the key distinguishing feature between contempt and anger, namely that contempt results when there is perception that the contemptible person is incapable of change. But also a person feeling contempt often wants or needs to feel better about themselves, and they do so by diminishing the person who is the object of their contempt. So it's no wonder that research has shown that the contemptuous person is likely to experience feelings of low self-esteem, inadequacy, and shame. The most effective solution is not that we need to disagree less, but that we need to learn how to disagree better. In other words, without contempt, without cruelty. And the best way to get to that positive communication pattern is to remind yourself that the person in front of you is also human. And just like you, he or she wants to be happy, healthy, at ease. Just like you, this person can make mistakes and deserves a chance to correct them. Just like you, this person deserves being seen. Their point of view needs to be heard, not dismissed. And of course, we can practice this with deep listening. So let's do a practice of deep listening together now. As always, take a comfortable position Then take a few moments to settle in. Scanning your body, notice how you're feeling today, physically, emotionally, mentally. Breathe easily and allow your breath to be not controlled. Just observe how it flows through your body and how your body responds to each inhale and each exhale. I'll remind you that a listening practice, a deep listening practice, begins with making a choice to relax with whatever comes up on your body, mind, and heart. It means choosing to receive whatever it is in a tender, curious, non-judgmental way, whatever our attention has been protecting. It means opening up over and over again to anything that we discover without feeling the need to critique or fix or change. Many mindfulness teachers point to the Chinese character for listening as an instruction manual for how to listen deeply. This character is made up of brush strokes that represent several elements. At the top are the signs for ear and eye. So whoever you're talking to needs to be heard and seen. Then there is a sign for undivided attention that sits in the middle. So when you listen deeply, you don't try to create a response in your head, but you really listen. And finally, all these symbols are held at the bottom by the symbol for heart. So you need to hear and listen not only with your ears, but with your heart as well. Again, reminding yourself that the person in front of you is human and just like you deserves to be seen and heard. So the character itself directs us to not only hear what's being said, but also notice visual cues to better understand the true feelings behind the words. We are reminded to offer our full attention rather than worry about how we are going to respond. And most importantly, we are asked to receive everything tenderly, openly, attending to it with care. And this type of kind and curious listening is a heart practice. So now take a moment to recall a challenging interaction you've had with somebody. Perhaps a heated discussion of sorts. Perhaps you felt contempt to that person. Without overanalyzing, replay the situation in your mind and notice what it is you're feeling in your body as you go into it. Notice your heart rate. Notice any sensations that arise, any thoughts. Notice your breath. How did you respond? How was this interaction? What if in that moment you allowed yourself to be fully present and practice deep listening? So replay the same interaction in your mind again, but this time reframing it, adding this component of true presence, of curious, compassionate listening. How does that feel in your body? Maybe you feel a little bit more space. Maybe you allow a little more understanding, compassion. Maybe you notice that your reaction comes from your need to be heard and seen. Perhaps your reaction points to some deeply rooted triggers. Remember to tend to them with love and care. As you go through your day today, I invite you to practice deep listening in all your interactions, and especially those that are challenging, especially those that provoke anger or contempt, those interactions where you somehow feel wrong. Allow yourself to be fully present, to be curious, compassionate, kind, and notice if it changes anything. Enjoy these explorations. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful day. And tomorrow is Amethyst's healing session. And I will see you on Thursday. And I know that last time when Amethyst held her healing session, we had some wind, and perhaps that's why the internet connection was not great and it kept breaking up. When that happens, usually Facebook tries to patch it after the fact when it's posted. So if it is too frustrating to listen to it, if it happens again, whether it's my practice or Amethyst's, if you notice that there is like a lot of breaking up and everything, and it's too frustrating to listen to in the moment, just wait until the practice is posted and listen to it again. And most likely Facebook will create a better version of it. Just wanted to let you know that this is how they try to operate. Anyway, have a beautiful day, and I will see you on Thursday. Enjoy Amethyst's healing session tomorrow.